Good morning. Happy Stitch Along Friday to all of you. It is Friday morning, 9:30 here in the Pacific Northwest. I live, as you know, in Victoria, British Columbia, or near there, and I'm streaming every Friday morning. So those of you who are happy to join in, please, you're very welcome. So I have just started. Actually, I was a little late this morning. Unfortunately, I had no idea how to finish one of the things that I was doing on the bling tree, the new bling tree #2. And as I was working on it, I thought, oh, I better get going. And then I realized it was an hour later than I thought it was. So I've been in a bit of a panic this morning. However, I am here now, and welcome to all of you who are joining. I can see there's already some people that are on board. I don't know how you all feel, but right here in the Northwest, we seem to have a very cool, cloudy kind of weather. I don't quite understand it. I don't know why we've got this kind of weather, but it doesn't seem like summer at all here. It feels like mid or late September outside. It's kind of cool, a little bit misty. Hello, Marty. Good to see you. I haven't seen anyone else yet, so you're the first in the classroom. I was going to say, first in the stream. Welcome, and good morning, Linda Morrison. Well, it was 47. I assume that was. Is that Fahrenheit? Because that's pretty cold. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Renee Cleveland. Good morning. Thanks, Linda. I feel a little better now because it really feels like this is unseasonable for August. I mean, even in Victoria, we do get cooler weather in the summer months, but not quite this bad. Never mind, what we have here is at least a lot better than desert-like conditions or the kind of heat that my partner Richard is experiencing down in Mexico. It's pretty warm down there, and I'm sure those of you who are in the southern states feel the same thing. Good morning, Sally. Again, really nice to see you. I'm really glad to see that you're thinking about me and sorry, I shouldn't say me, us, and that you're joining in. It's really good to see you. Donna Granger, good morning from Berkeley. What's your weather down there like? I mean, it's usually very similar to what we have up here, so curious to know what it's like in the Berkeley area. Good morning, Carla. You're here from Springfield, Missouri, and I'm really glad to hear that people who tell me where they're from, so I can kind of visualize what is happening on your side of the continent or of the world. Kathy Bird, good morning. Good to see you too. I often see your lovely greeting, and then of course I don't know what's happening much, but I'm obviously assuming that you're doing well and that things are good for you. Those of you who are here, just so you know, I am so grateful to those of you who keep coming back, and I feel like we've all become friends. And I also welcome anyone who is brand new, and just come and say hello, or don't say hello, just join in and see what we've got for you this morning. Our morning stream, our Friday morning stream, is usually about half hour long. I haven't had the energy to do more than that because I'm not here with Lisa. And it looks like she's not here this morning either. Oh, there she is. Good morning. I missed you already, and you were only a few minutes later than usual. Hello, Louisa. Good to see you. Pleasant sunny day in Niagara Falls. Oh, 75 degrees is perfect. Marcia Buckingham, good morning. I shouldn't say Buckingham, it's Buckingham, right? That is if you say it in the English way. Janet, hello from Minnesota. Good to see you. Great. It's good that's someone I know very well. You're someone I know very well. And, to have you come on board, it just makes me feel like, we don't forget one another. It's a really joyful thing. And you have to understand that I'm actually working a lot of the time on my own, as is Lisa and as is Petra. But Petra and Lisa have their partners with them. Mine is way down in Mazatlan, so I do miss him lately. And he hasn't been feeling well, so I was glad to hear this morning that, no, he's starting to be on the mend. It's been a couple of weeks, so I've been a little bit concerned about that guy. He's now on antibiotics, thank goodness. Oh, that's okay, Lisa. You don't have to be on time every time. Hello, I'm waving too. Janet, so cute. Oh, it's cool, 60 degrees. Weather say, sprinkle of rain. Yeah, same here, same here. In fact, I've had to bring in my the pillows on my deck chairs or my patio chairs because I was worried that they might get soaked. Good morning, Diane Zamudio. I did manage to see you. This is great. Ah, that's so good. Susan Randall, yay, you made it from North Carolina. Ah, that is so nice to see you also. I haven't seen you for a while, so this is great. Just great. Those of you who've just joined in, I welcome you all. The waving and everything. And Lisa says she's a little tardy, working on another computer. It was not cooperating with me. I know what you mean. At least you were working on a computer. That's good. Because apparently you're on duty today, right? We're going to be doing some work afterwards. June Morrison, good morning from sunny and much cooler Atlanta. Oh, seems like everyone's got a bit cooler weather this morning. That's interesting. And only 70 degrees for Marty in Lake Placid. Yeah, it looks like just about perfect, exactly. Ours is not as perfect as you, but that doesn't matter. I'm just grateful that we don't have such hot weather as I've experienced, and also that we're all safe and in our own places, and that you're all here. Yvonne, Korea, good morning from Oakland. Oh, this isn't a new place. Very, very welcome. Very welcome. Indeed. If you're a Victoria Sampler Stitcher, I really do welcome you as well to the group, and that you, if you've been in the group for some time, I wouldn't know because I don't always see all the posts, but really it's just great to have you here in the live stream. Great. And Lisa says, by the way, Lisa Archer works with me and has worked with me since we began Victoria Sampler back in 1997. She was trying to get the reports ready, but the program, oh dear, I hate when the technology tools that we want to use are not cooperating. It's horrible. And that seems to happen more and more. In fact, just before I started the stream this morning, I noticed that there was a notification. Would you like me to add a application to your Chrome browser window now? Well, I know that if I had said yes or anything or no even, I would have been stuck in a tangle of, oh, you have to remove it and then you have to do this and you have to do that. I'm thinking, no, I'm doing a stream. Go away. Hello, Tina Bell from Chesterfield in the UK. Welcome. Gosh, I must be afternoon for you over there. And I say over there because, of course, mentally I'm thinking around the world, but you are almost right next door. So you are more than welcome. I'm in Canada on the West Coast in Victoria, BC. Tammy, I forgot until I saw the streaming. Oh, I understand completely. I also forgot even to look at the time today. Gosh, it's really nice to have all of you here. I've got a bunch of stuff around me, and I actually wasn't sure what to chat about this morning because, as you know, I don't have a real program going on here. All I love is to have some feedback from you guys, and so I've got a question. What do you call it? A poll or whatever. It's kind of like a question for all of you to answer little in a minute. But I was wondering if anyone has any specific questions, because always here to answer any questions you have. I do want to make a quick announcement. It's not actually an announcement, more as a kind of a warning. We have had some trouble with one of our suppliers which is actually, we're having a hard time getting a hold of them to answer the questions even as to when they're going to send our products for the Spooky Treats kits. So we're really concerned because we may not be able to get those products. However, if worse comes to worse, if we don't hear from them by the end of this week or very early next week, we will substitute even better products or raw materials instead. So I just want you to know that we're working on it, but we're so careful that we want to make an announcement and let you know exactly what's happening so that we're not, if we are a week late sending out our kits, that you're not disappointed and terrible, because we really are, that's our biggest priority at the moment, is making sure we get our kits out. And of course our patterns, which are now printed, which will be awesome for those of you who want another printed pattern. I have to say, the fact that everything was had been a PDF lately, it's nice. I really like the fact that people can buy our patterns. But I know that many people love the printed patterns, and that's what we have for the Spooky Treats. So they're on sale now, just FYI. So go to our website and buy those. Marty says, when I get those notifications, my mind says, no, thank you. Exactly. Don't mess it up. I even don't, you know, when people, when your computer program says you have a new update, go ahead and update it, because I never have it automatically updated. I often say no, not now anyway. I can't handle it now. Oh, you're welcome, Sally. I'm glad to hear that you were also concerned and interested in those, because they're, if they have to be sent out later, a little bit later, it's not for want of trying. I know Lisa's been on the phone 3 or 4 times with these people, and they're kind of, it's an old product, but it's new ownership, so they're just making the transition, and this transition is painful for them and obviously for us too, which we didn't expect. So we're working on it. I have substitutions already carefully picked out in case, and those substitutions are pretty much perfect as far as color goes. So I'm really grateful, because I spent about 2.5 hours, not yesterday, but the day before, to make sure that we had substitutions in case we needed them. I would prefer to use the original ones, but as you know, if worse comes to worse, we will have something that we can put in their places. Okay, and so I also wanted to talk a little bit about pincushions in general, because this pincushion, which is our Spooky Treats pincushion, which I've shown now several hundred times, this pincushion is not the only kind of pincushion. It's, there you go, it's near our village pincushion here. But we also have these other pincushions, and I'm not sure if everyone understands that the wooden form for our wooden form pincushions are absolutely available. We just don't sell them anymore because we don't have any inventory at this time, or at least we're starting to get some more inventory now. But these wooden things, I'm not quite sure what to call them. This wooden, I call it a wooden pincushion form. It's a Victorian style, beautifully created by a woodworker in Italy, of all things. And he is selling these on Etsy. And we have a link for them in every one of these 4 patterns that we have. There is, of course, this one, which is the bumblebee one. Very cute. You can see the bumblebees, and they're actually sitting on echinacea flowers. I don't know if that means anything to you, but I kind of like them. Or you can call them daisies. Then we also have the, let's see, we have the strawberry one. I'm going to have to remove this one. I'll take this off. See, that's how they fit together. And then what you do is you put the other one on, and you've got the strawberry one. So you can actually interchange these, which I think is just a great idea. You don't have to have all new pin cushions, but you do have to have this form. So you might be able to create this form yourself. Once you've got the original, you can make another one that's like it, or you can buy another pin cushion. They're not that expensive, these wooden pin cushions. This is another form, which is does not exactly fit on this, but it is called the Victorian pin cushion with this top. And then finally there is the to just juggle them all here, there is the water lily pin cushion with the dragonfly on it. I think you might have seen them. Oh, Dorothy, you're there, and you're saying you got the pin cushion from that gentleman, that woodworker person in Italy. He is so nice, and he is so careful with his sending things. And I'm so glad that you got the speedy service because, of course, very often people will buy them, but they don't tell me that they got them right away. So excellent. Thank you so much. That is really great to hear. Kathy, if it's the Kreinik threads you're missing, the company was sold and moved from West Virginia to California. I'm well aware. Thank you, Kathy. Sue, hello, how are you? Yes, it's great to see you. And I just can't even believe that I haven't talked to you for such a long time. We have to get together for sure. And it sounds like you're still in Connecticut. I don't think you're down in Florida just yet. Are you planning on going down while the hurricanes start or continue? I imagine that you're very happily ensconced in your cabin in Connecticut. I'm thinking of you for sure. Thanks again, Dorothy, and also Kathy, for your announcement. Yes, I was trying not to mention their names because we don't like to say anything negative about anybody, but we're aware, very much aware, that they're having some troubles, just, how can I put it, turning things over so that it goes into their manufacturing system. And, you know, they have to do what they have to do. So we're looking forward to hearing back from them. And if we don't, we certainly understand. And we'll deal with them again in the future once they're all set up. But I think it's taking a lot longer than they thought, certainly than we thought. So this is another thing that goes with the pin cushions. And I do want to mention that in this one, which is the bumblebee pin cushion, I found that this little beehive is really what it is. Looks so nice with the scissors sticking out of it. And it looks like in my hurry this morning, I didn't grab a pair of scissors. I'm sorry. But the scissors fit right on top in the little hole so that the little, the things, you know what I'm saying. And also the bumblebee the bumblebee pincushion has these 2 adorable things that go with them. I absolutely love these. This is, of course, the pin keep, where you can put your pins and needles in. And then this is a scissor fob or ornament. It's just adorable to have with it. And all of those things together, when you see them all together, you'll know what I mean. And of course, you have to imagine the scissor keep. I'm not doing very well here. And this is the scissor stand, you can call it, and that all goes together. It really looks nice, and it's quite the set. Great. So let's see. Aw, Kathy Joan Nelson said, I wish I could listen to this live. I didn't even read that. Things may have gone by with, oh, there we go. I see it now. Aw, you're at work. I'm so sorry, Kathy Joan. I think Yvonne's got an idea. If you're at work and you can be distracted, otherwise watch it later. We'll think about you, and I'm really glad you're here and you've typed hello, Kathy. Marty says, I still have to start the Dragonfly pincushion. I like the interchangeable tops idea. Do you think a foam board, Velcro type? It could, and I'm not so sure about foam board, but definitely something stiff, like maybe mat board. And if it is, let's say, if it is acid-free, and then maybe make that round. Let's see, we'll get this off. Make this round piece with a hole in the middle, but make it fairly thick so that it is, you know, very stiff. So maybe 2 or 3 pieces of mat board together, and then of course this part goes over top of the mat board, right? It would not show, this part would not show because mat board is not that pretty to look at. But on the other hand, if you put the linen and you pull it back underneath and then put another one underneath that so that it's covered, I think you're going to have just the same effect. And you can put the hole in the middle of the mat board and then just stick it on top. And there you've got another one. I think that using something other than the base, you know, it's possible to even email our friend in Italy and ask him if he'll make a wooden base for you as well. That's also possible. Anyway, I love that, and I call it the water lilies one. I should have called it the dragonfly one because the dragonfly is the most adorable part with all the beads showing. Here, let's see if I can get this so that people can see the dragonfly. I had such fun making it, and I think that, you know, doing some bead work once in a while on our stitching is just such a treat. I don't know if those of you realize this, but on just about everything I put beads. I mean, I'm a beadaholic, honestly. I mean, this is what the little dragonfly actually looks like. And as you can see, it's made almost entirely of beads. Even the head is a bead that's kind of like a diamond shape. Yeah, I really like beads, using beads. And like, for instance, in this one, I had this one ready to show anyway. In this one, which is the Heirloom Birth Sampler, you can see the amount of beads that are in the top of it. You can see all the little ones that glisten in the light. And then there's pearls as well. And all throughout, I always put all of these beads. By the way, that's my name and my birth date. There we go. And I think there's some beads in between in the Hardanger section as well. You know, when you're a beadaholic, you just have to add it to everything. And from my point of view anyway, beads actually add to the elegance of the types of stitching that require beads. But also, I put them in almost, I mean, I even put them in this one. I noticed that I put them in as little apples in the trees in the I Love My Dog sampler. And I also put them in here, along the bottom here. You can see them, more pearls, can't resist. This is called the Early Bird. And it's a cute little sampler. It's not even a sampler. It's just something that actually I was working on it and I thought, I don't even care. I just love these colors and I wanted to work on that bird. And the bird turned out to be really joyful and fun. So anyway, but I still put beads in it, even, you know, if it's not Victorian looking. Oh, that's really good. Tammy says, I really enjoyed doing the beaded dragonfly on the pincushion top. It's really good to hear. Thank you. And Sue is just sitting here wondering how many designs I've created total. Also, I noticed that you've put a few emoticons there, but they're not translating for me, but fine. I believe that including all the kits, don't forget, and all of the Beyond Cross Stitch patterns, when I see them all together, it's one thing because we've got them now in leaflets. At the moment, all our designs are available on PDFs, and I think we're close to 300. I don't know. What do you think, Lisa? Because originally the herbal sachets were not in one leaflet. They were 6 separate patterns, as were all of the Beyond Cross Stitch. I don't know, there still are separate patterns, that's right. So at one point, I think we counted up to about 450, 500. But then when we put all the small patterns in some of the, like the Hearts of America, or the Canadian Hearts, International Hearts, they were all individual kits, right? So at one point we just put them, amalgamated them into patterns so that we could sell them online as PDFs. and also as patterns. So then things, as far as numbers go, they shrunk down. So I would say we're in the 300 area. Yeah, exactly. 400 to 450, but that's, as I say, at the moment, we're not there yet because we shrunk everything down and put them into leaflets. And when those small patterns turned into leaflets and there weren't separate patterns anymore, there were many in one leaflet, I could say that each one of those would have been a design, but at the moment, no. Thanks, Sue. Thanks for your question. That's kind of a fun question. I also think that there are other designers who are doing just as many as we have, or as I have. But then we also have Kathy Jean's lovely patterns. I just noticed on the group this morning, on the chat group this morning, that someone had finished one of Kathy Jean's little bird patterns, button-up birdie patterns. And I think she did that one as a greeting card, which I thought was really adorable. So I think there's at least 70 of hers. And then Linda Rosser of used to be Florida shop fame. She now lives, I believe she's in the south of France, and she is living with her dogs, or she will move to England to be near her daughter. I'm not quite sure. But she has also had 18 patterns out. So altogether, we have that many patterns with other designers' patterns in amongst them. So that makes sense, Lisa, what you say. The numbers are closer to 450 when you think about it. Yeah, it is amazing. Okay, so I am just so thrilled being able to chit-chat away, and I am watching to see if there are any other comments and or questions. So just if I miss something, don't forget, I can't constantly keep track of the comments, so say it again and then I'll be sure to answer. Okay, so what else is there? There is oh yes, I've been working on the bling tree 2.0. I don't know what to call it. Bling tree TOO. Sue, your name for that pattern is so catching. It is so adorable, and it is actually so accurate. So I want to thank you for christening the bling tree, because originally I think I called it Christmas tree after the carol, because that was what was in my mind. I was thinking about the Christmas carol. Oh Christmas tree, oh Tannenbaum in the German. And then when I was talking to Sue one time, because I was teaching this pattern to Stitcher's Hideaway for her, everyone, I heard her say, or it's about, what about the bling tree or something? You mentioned it and you called it the bling tree at that point. I went, oh, that is perfect. I have to say, I'd like to take your services to call all of my patterns something, because you have some great names in that inventive head of yours. So thrilled with that name. Thank you. And so we're doing another one, and I have finished the tree. Took me a week to stitch the entire tree, and it's a little bit smaller and just a little narrower. The other tree was big, and so this new tree is a little smaller and, well, actually just narrower. And it also has several colors, but it is not as complicated as the previous one, so that I could make it more quickly for you, and also so I could get to decorating it. And I've been really dreaming up all these different decorations, so I hope you're going to enjoy it when it's here. I'm looking forward to seeing if we can get all the materials still, because that's still a problem in this day and age, getting physical materials together. I notice now when I tell people, yeah, just go ahead and put whatever you want on your tree, I can see how it is really challenging to find things. So I'm looking forward to getting it all together so that we can make a limited number of kits. This time, I think that's what we'll have to do. Because from our point of view, we certainly can't just have it open-ended and have it available, have the kit available full-time after that. So we're going to put together a limited number of kits, and then when they're gone, they're gone. I think that's our next plan. In the meantime, I have made an announcement before, but I do want you all to know that those of you who paid for, thank you so much, prepaid them so that we could put the kits together for the Spooky Treats pincushion. There is a possible little delay. So far, there's no delay, but if there is a delay, it'll only be for a week before we send it out. And that is, I'm sort of warning people ahead of time so that they're not disappointed, because we try to, well, actually, we do our very best to fulfill your trust in us. And those of you who know our company know that we are extremely ethical. But there are people who are new and they're buying these. And I just wanted them also to know that we're working on it really hard. And worst comes to worst, if one of our suppliers doesn't come through, we have substitutions planned and they will be there on time. But that may mean that, you know, our shipping date might be a weekend late. So I just wanted you to know that we are working on it for sure. Dorothy, the bling tree too, I'm not going to predict that. And the reason is because I'm still working on it and still working on the supplies. So, you know, we have plans, but it is already a little later on in the season when it comes to Christmas things. We're hoping, that's all. We're hoping we'll get it done before Christmas so you can buy them at Christmas time or just before Christmas. Marty says, I'm still working on the sugar plum ornament. I'm almost ready, the center strip of flowers, then cut the heart hanger. This weekend's project. Thank you. That's a really good thing to tell me, Marty. I wonder if there's anyone else who's working on a Victoria Sampler piece right now. What is in there on their WIP list of Victoria Sampler stuff? That's good. That was going to be my question. I noticed that Marty often offers her Victoria Sampler list and her works in progress list, and I was wondering if anyone else had one. If you do, why don't you tell us about it, or just give us the name of the one that you're working on now. It would be really fun to see what you're working on. And of course, I don't expect anything. I just thought I'd throw it out there. By the way, I was looking in the camera here and I noticed my pearls. I put them on this morning. It was the first time I've worn them. These are my mother's pearls. They're the real thing, you know, in those days. This necklace was, and still is, I'm sure, very valuable. But it's also more valuable to me because I absolutely love seeing them on her. And so when I'm wearing them now, I feel like, oh, those are hers. It looks really nice. I'm really glad that I wore them this morning. And it's amazing how beautifully strung they are. And the clasp is a little diamonds at the back. I won't show you that now, but there's a little gold and diamond clasp at the back. It's just beautiful. So it makes me feel rich. And the reason I wore it was I was thinking about beads this morning. And that's why I had a few things out showing you beads. And so I thought, oh, I'll wear these. And Joanna's stitching her Tree Etui pincushion still. Excellent. So you're part of that stitch along group, right? That was about the gingerbread tree things. Or sorry, not the tree. Gingerbread house and village, and the tree is part of that. So well done. Well done. I hope that things are going to be completed before Christmas, because that is a big one. There's a lot of stitching to it. I just finished doing a tree myself, as you know. It took me a week to do my tree. It would take at least a week to do, maybe 4 weeks to do all of the trees part of the, and then there's all the little scenes underneath. So you've got your work cut out for you, but well done so far. Thanks, Sally. Lisa says, I've been working on the heart hanger section and the sister sampler. Oh, that is such a nice thing to know. You are working on your sister's sampler. And my heart goes out to you during this time while you're stitching it, because I know that you have your sister in the back of your mind the entire time that you're stitching. So that's really, really nice to see. Exactly. You can do it. Exactly. Well, I have one more thing to add, which is the, oh, there's Carol. I'm working on the winter stitching box. Oh, I love that one. Stitching is almost done, then putting it together. I am so glad to hear that you have a whole drawer full of things to do. Because, you know, a whole drawer, that's a lot of projects. That's so wonderful, Carol. I'm so glad that you're enjoying stitching that one. Winter stitching box is really fun to stitch because it's fairly simple, right? But it is also a joy to see all the stitches coming together into a pattern. And in particular, I like the outside where the alphabet is. I don't know if that's my favorite part. It's also the part that contains the 1/1 alphabet, so it's not as easy. Anyway, I wanted to get the angel card. So I'm just going to not look while I'm looking at you. I'm going to choose an angel card. Okay. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this is quite sensual. Celebrate your body and enjoy your senses. Now you can take it as a sensual thing, or you can remember that all of the things that we do in our stitching journey is sensual. I mean, we look at the fabrics, we touch them, we touch our beads, everything that we do, it all craves being touched. And I think that this is something that we can enjoy, our senses. It's not something that we think about too often, but we're very lucky to have the senses that we do. In particular, the senses that allow us to enjoy needlework and all of the fabrics and cottons and silks that we get to enjoy. So it's a pretty appropriate angel card for all of you too. And also for me, because it's one thing that I am finding enriches my time here in Victoria while my husband is away or my partner is away. I am so enjoying being able to stitch with and touch all of the fabrics that I've got over here on the wall. I have a whole, well, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I have 6 tall 6-drawer cabinets that are full of my stash. And so I can imagine, in fact, I've been sorting through some of them for the bling tree. And there is so much there still that I did not give away, that I kept. And I am so grateful because I have all these beautiful things to run my fingers through. So Mickey, yes, there's going to be a Bling Tree 2 release. But I was asked earlier, Mickey, whether or not I know the date. I do not know the date. I'm sorry. I'm still working on the actual prototype. So until that prototype is done, and I know where all the threads and materials are coming from, I won't be able to give you any date. I'm hoping before Christmas. That's what I'm actually planning, but I'm not going to make any promises. It's just too early to tell at this point, but I am hoping before this Christmas. Okay. Joanne says she's starting the gingerbread haunted house next. Awesome. That is going to be great for Halloween and a wonderful thing to stitch. If you are like Sue Donnelly, as always said, she's a seasonally, seasonal disorder stitcher. In other words, she finds it difficult to stitch Christmas in the summertime. She wants to stitch Christmas at Christmas, Halloween at Halloween, a few weeks before, but basically anticipating the season by not too many months. So if you're like that, this is a perfect thing to start on, because it won't be long before October rolls around and you'll have that almost done. Nice to hear. Marty, she says, I'm a bit anxious to get back to the gingerbread village pieces, though. Yes, I can imagine. Ah, Carol, that is wonderful. Ah, like that card too. Let's see what Carol says. I have given several pieces away because my health slowed down my ability to possibly finish them. Brenda says, well, look at that. It's already Friday. Chalk that one up to a senior moment. You and me both. Brenda, honestly, I was there literally a minute before. I was still working on the technical parts of the stream. I'm not usually like that. I was carried away doing other things. So glad you dropped in. Really nice to see you. And Janet says, not bragging, but my VS project filled a large bin and overflows into another, though a smaller one. I'm obsessed. I'm also obsessed with your friendship with me, Janet. I'm so grateful that you love Victoria Sanford pieces, because when we meet, we always feel like we are just old friends and sisters in the stitching world. A seasonal stitching disorder, SSD. Thank you. Yes, you have it, Sue, for sure. And I always had to laugh because as a designer, I had to be literally 6 to 7 months ahead of the season. So anyway, and Joanna says, yes, same here for stitching seasons, exactly. Oh, stitch. Okay, thank you, Carol. Let's see, how does that work? Let's see. A senior moment. No, my ability to stitch. Okay, I fully understand that. And Carol, I am so proud of you for joining in here and also getting some inspiration so that you can stitch what little or the amount that is comfortable for you, and don't feel like it's any kind of competition. Okay. Deborah says, I have started my Happy New Year. Thank you for the floss key correction. You're welcome. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but you are welcome. I think you're talking, oh no, I do remember now. Yes, yes, Deborah, you are so welcome. I'm very glad to hear that because it really made quite a difference to you, so thanks. I've changed that whole thing around so that it's done and that everyone will get the correct floss key. And I'm so grateful to you for letting us know. Wonderful to have that kind of feedback. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I think that's it. We've done our angel card. We've said hello to everyone who is either early, late, or in the middle. And thanks again for joining me here. I hope that you know that I appreciate all of you as always. And that as far as I'm concerned, the Bling Tree 2 is top of my list right now. And we will get out the Spooky Treats kit and the leaflets. But remember, they will be done around the same time, most likely. And so far, we're still looking at mid to the, I'm going to say mid to the end of September that we send it out, but we're hoping the third week in September for sure. Okay, so hopefully everything will go very well for all of us and that you get your kits and your leaflets in time. Lots of love to all of you. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next Friday. Oh, I do this again and again. Okay, you have to understand, I say, okay, end live video, and then it says, do you really want to end the live video? That's why it says it. Okay, I'm going to hold my pearls and say goodbye again. Goodbye, everyone.